Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for Nerds by Nerds. Hang out with this nerd.
Nerdarchy is Ted.
And today we're going to discuss how to avoid dead-end plots.
Jump down the description below where you can sign up for Nerdarchy, the newsletter, get weekly gaming tips, as well as learn how to game with us.
So, this one comes to us from Facebook once again, one of the 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons groups, where we saw a GM was asking about plot dead ends and how do you avoid them.
So the example is they're in a temple, they need to get through the temple, they come to a door, there's sigils all over the place, it's a riddle. Despite their best efforts, despite all skill attempts that fail miserably, they do not come up with an answer. How do you proceed? They have to do this in order to move the plot along, but the players have been unable to solve the problem. They are not equal to the task. What do you do? Do you, A, give them the information, which teaches them that, all right, well, if I can't do it, the DM will give me, why should I try hard? Do you not let them do it, or not give them anything, which leads to frustration and, possible quitting of the game or, D&D as a whole, or, do you do something else? So it's definitely a thought-invoking topic.
First of all, yes, you're right. You don't want, this GM's right. You don't want to frustrate your players and get them to the point where, they're not getting anywhere and they're just banging their head against the wall. So, there's definitely things that you can do, especially in the instance that he would give in, like perhaps sprinkling clues throughout the rest of the dungeon. Would be the most easy. Now, not having your plots come to dead ends, the biggest thing is always have more ways of answering the question at hand and not only having one solution.
So if you plan in advance of there being another way, or don't plan things as a linear track, you have the ability to not have this problem because, well, they need to get through a door. Well, is there another door that they can go through that doesn't have this riddle? Is there another way to solve the problem that getting through this door is going to answer? Can they go somewhere else to get it? If you have these questions answered, then you don't have a problem. The players are unequal to this task, but I plan my game for what they are equal to, and I won't have that problem either.
And also, to add an addendum, they're unequal to this task at this time. Right, because one of the things in your mind might be, oh well, they go back to Gryffindor and go to the Elven Library. They can probably get more information there. Is a good example. The other thing too is sometimes a dead end plot isn't really a dead end. It may have just stopped for now. Right, there's no reason why it won't come up later. Like right now, there may not be anything else to be done. Like for instance, in one of your games, we had orcs come in the Gryffindor. We attacked the orcs, so our thoughts were we need to go find more orcs, right? So, but there were no orcs where we were looking, to really find. So that technically was a dead end plot. Well, fast forward to by I don't know 12 levels or something, and now the city is besieged by orcs. It can pick up later. It can seem to be a dead end plot. That is instead of being a dead end plot, think of it as foreshadowing.
There's always ways to come back to things. There's always ways to put things on hold until you think that they might be equal to the task. If they come to a dead end and they're unwilling to go get help, then perhaps they're not meant to go through that doorway right now. Perhaps there is a barrier that's there that they're not seeing. They are not significant enough.
Well, Ted, it is a door.
There is a magical barrier beyond the doorway, keeping them from being able to move through. Perhaps they don't have a significant aura. There's nothing in D&D that speaks of that, but in 5th edition you have a proficiency modifier based on your character level that denotes a specific thing within the game. Perhaps once they've reached a high enough level, maybe they need to have a proficiency modifier of 4 or 5 or 6 to really cross this threshold and this will allow them to deal with the challenges beyond it. You might not have planned it this way, but if the players aren't able to deal with it, give them that kind of a clue and be prepared to have them come back. Well, now they have time to jot down the information, bring it back, go get some help, figure things out on their own. Well, now maybe next time when they come, their bonuses are going to be higher from raising levels, from raising their proficiency modifier. You can give them that advantage, or just, well, they figured out the answer in their travels, in their time. You could slowly give them pieces that they've figured out, or hand wave it and not require dice rolls if that's a problem. And believe me, I've experienced games where players are rolling like crap all night. So you have to be prepared for that and be able to think on the fly and say, all right, this is now what's going to happen, and move forward. And sometimes your stories might have to take a sudden twist or a sudden about face, because some unexpected things happen based off of what you planned and how they rolled.
I feel like sandboxes are like 75% dead plots. There is this part of this that where the problem isn't that you have a dead plot. It might be more of the problems like the DM letting go and accepting the dead plot. It's his baby and he's got to keep it alive somehow. Now, I want to say about 75% of my game is dead plots, because I will just lay out plot after plot after plot after plot, and whatever thread my players pick up that's the one we're doing. And I really just don't worry about them. And the fun thing is, like, later on, I might weave those plots that they never did anything with, the dead plots, back into the story. In different ways, fun and unexpected ways. And sometimes they do it in ways where they make my players go, oh my God, we didn't take care of that thing. And the whole village died because of it. So you can definitely do things like that. Like, I just like a shock, double barrel, boom, of plots out there. And then the ones the players want to deal with, I deal with. Ones that can be worked back in, I work back in. And some of them, they just nothing. We never hear from them again.
See, part of the problem is, Dave, we're not playing a video game, so when we see that NPC with a question mark above his head, we're not seeing the question mark. So it's like, okay, well, hi, how you doing? Blah, you got this problem. I'm sorry to hear about it. Good luck, and I'll move on. So we don't realize that there's all these, open quests out there. I might not have the same rate as you, but I feel that I've put loads of stuff out that...
But see, that's okay. Like, I don't care if you go by my NPC with the question mark, because there'll be another one, or maybe he'll come back later and, down the road. I'm not married to those.
Oh, I'm same boat. That I put out stuff. There's sometimes like, I care about this. Oh, well, you guys don't? All right, well, move on.
Yeah, or test players will even tell them they want to do something and do something completely different anyway.
Well, there was one significant time that happened that really threw me for a loop, and I had to take a moment to readjust.
That's when you separate the boys from the men, folks, or little girls from the women, as the case may be. But yeah, so for one, the idea of a dead plots are actually okay. Two, what? They might not actually be dead. I'm not really dead.
I'm not dead yet.
And three, what? Have alternatives out there. Have your players be able to come back to it. It's okay.
So, boil it down to, you think it's dead, doesn't have to be dead. The players hit a wall. All right, well, what do they want to do if they can't do what they think that they were going to do? And, be happy to revisit dead plots, or come back to things later. Makes it so much easier the second time around.
So with that, what do you guys do? How do you stop your plots from dying? We got a place for it. It's called the comments. While you're at it, like, share, and subscribe.
You can check us out on nerdarchy.com.
So until next time,
stay nerdy.